Right, we haven't spoken about AJ for a while, and the producers like speaking about AJ because apparently he gets numbers. So we're going to talk about AJ now. Before we do, let's have a listen what we've been speaking about over the network for the last week or so.
I saw Eddie Hearn, as part of his conversation about potential opponents for Anthony Joshua, said that we were in a really good position regarding what happens with Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois. No, you're not. No, you're not at all. You're nowhere near that fight. Whatever happens in that, there's no way that Anthony Joshua gets an Alexander Usyk part 3, and there's no way that Anthony Joshua gets another go with Daniel Dubois. He was taken care of quite comfortably. There's other people well ahead of Anthony Joshua when we're talking about world title fights. Kabayel and Parker to name but 2.
For me, there are more better and exciting fights, sexier fights for AJ at this stage of his career than Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, and that would be one Tyson Fury, and we'd love to see that
one
fight
Tyson
for sure.
Fury. That would be a Daniel Dubois. I know, our fellow talkSPORT pundit Adam Cattrall doesn't feel like AJ should somehow jump the queue for Daniel Dubois. It's Anthony Joshua. AJ can jump the queue to fight anybody.
He's a 2-time world heavyweight champion. He
brings this to the table.
And absolutely, I totally agree with that.
In listening to that, it would appear to me that you're aligning yourself more with Addy's argument than Adam's, along the lines of Anthony Joshua getting shuffled to the front of the queue. Why does he get to jump
No, I
to the
said
front of the queue?
on merit he could get that shot. I believe that Anthony Joshua, on what he's achieved already, where is that? I don't believe it's going to happen that way. I believe he goes in against Deontay Wilder next, and I think that, unless the Tyson Fury fight happens, it will be Deontay Wilder. But I'm saying, if the opportunity arises, listen, we've got to look at the business side of it as well, the commercial value that Anthony Joshua brings. He is still one of the biggest draws, and that will get him the shot. That's where we're at now. But he needs to come back with, obviously, a victory.
Where are you on all of that, Carl?
I think that I see Spencer's point. I see where he's coming from, but I think if anybody jumps ahead of Joseph Parker, it would be very, very unfair.
It'd be a travesty, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. Parker deserves a shot next, definitely. Kabayel, maybe. If Kabayel gets it in front of Parker, you'd feel a little bit disappointed for Joe. I still feel he's more deserving than Kabayel, but if AJ gets it in front of either of those two, I think it would be unfair. But I get it because he's a huge, huge draw.
Well, where are you at on it? Where do you think AJ fits into this? Do you think that he deserves that shot again?
I think there are others that deserve it more. If we're talking about the timing of it, and we're talking about the landscape of an opportunity being presented to others that deserve it more in terms of current form, I think Ajit Kabayel and Joseph Parker clearly deserve this opportunity more than Anthony Joshua. And we have seen recently a landscape where it's not, I understand, everybody understands that boxing is a business. Fighters go in to make money as well as achieve things. But in recent times, we've seen a little bit of clearing of those decks with the Saudis, albeit they've driven a lot of it by money, but we've seen the best fighting the best. And we're not relying on previous historic achievements or the fact that they're box office draws to be the only reason we see the best fighting the best. But when you look at Anthony Joshua, Carl, after the manner of his defeat against Daniel Dubois, and I was one of the few people in the room saying, building up to the Daniel Dubois fight, I don't care what the Jermaine Franklin fight might have told us. I don't care about Otto Wallin. I don't care about Ngannou and Robert Helenius. I think we're going to see Anthony Joshua, when he gets one landed on him, I think we're going to see him in trouble, which is what we saw with Daniel Dubois. Do you give Anthony, if he gets an opportunity to fight Dubois or Usyk again, if that opportunity was to make itself available, do you give him any chance in that?
I mean, you have to give him a chance just because he's a heavyweight and he's an explosive guy and he's a big, big punching heavyweight as well. So he has to have a chance. I mean, no one gave Francis Ngannou a chance against Tyson Fury and he got reasonably close the first time. So there is a chance, but he would have to be a big underdog. I think Daniel Dubois is still an improving fighter, believe it or not. Although he's a world champion, I think he's still getting better and he still has time to get better. And Usyk, I've just learned never to back against Usyk. He just finds a way to win.
Yeah, it's a fair comment. Would you give? I mean, what would you look at if you saw Anthony fighting Wilder? He would win that fight, wouldn't he?
I think so. I mean, both of them are not as good as they once were, and I think there'd be no argument really. We can all say that, but I think that in terms of the position both guys are in their career, like Parker's slid a way down from the previous place that he was. Typically, he wasn't a great boxer, Parker. Wilder, not Parker. Wilder wasn't a great boxer ever in his career, but he always had that dynamite. But there's something a bit more tentative about him now, and I don't know whether that's because he's been knocked over a few times and hurt.
I think he's massively declined. Deontay Wilder, we watched him in his last couple of fights, especially against Zhang Zhang. He was scared to even let the shots go. He'd become gun-shy, and I think that when you get to a certain stage of your
So why do we
career,
want to see this fight then, by the way?
Huh?
Why do we want to see this fight then?
I just think that it's
out of maudlin interest?
Yes, it's out of interest because look, I think where they're both sat, Cole's already highlighted that, where they're both sat in their careers right now, it'd be a shame that we didn't get that fight in the modern era. And you go, look, it's not the fight it once was. And I think the Wilder's declined much more than Anthony Joshua.
Massively.
But it's still a fight that would sell massively. It's still one of the biggest fights out there.
There's talk of Dave Allen fighting Wilder, and I mean that kind of shows you.
Well, Dave Allen was the one that started that conversation.
But I mean, I like that fight, and I think that.
Do you think Deontay Wilder's team would accept that? Though?
Maybe not.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
If they're looking at someone, we need a fight to get us back. They might look at Dave Allen and be someone that I can look good against and beat. But I have a feel I think Dave Allen beats Wilder at this stage. His style is all wrong for him. He gets too close to you. Wilder needs distance to land, and if Dave's on his chest the whole night, he can't get that distance to land a shot. I imagine. I mean, I would have laughed at anyone saying this 2 years ago. Dave Allen beats Deontay Wilder.
Crazy.
But I think
crazy.
That's how it's turned, isn't it?